Yes, I can. Hi, Shelley.
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Doing okay. Doing okay.
Okay, guys. So
I just figured John needs to be on here because he's the creator of the product and he's the head of True Mtn Marketing that developed it.
nice. I took a look at that product and it looks amazing. So let's talk about this. You guys did a pretty quick pivot about coming up with a pretty much a canned product that any IGC can just jump in and connect with you guys and get this an Ecomm happening really fast, which is a solution to a major problem for a lot of people. So why don't you guys tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah. Rich, why don't you run it by? I mean, it really came down because Rich, is involved heavily with the industry and some struggles he was dealing with.
Yeah. So, I've been really involved in the marketing and digital marketing side of our Alsip Nursery Garden Center business for, over a decade, and been selling online since 2015. Been selling plants online since 2017, I believe. So we've kind of know what been to the rodeo and know the whole thing. We have a full shipping team, and we also do curbside pickup and all that. And been shipping on Amazon for several years as well, selling plants and anyhow. But as the last couple years, I joined on as an investor partner in True Mtn Marketing, which is headed by John here, and they redid the Alsip Nursery website back in 2018, and it's been performing very, very well. And so we're real happy with it now, with everything that's going on regarding the pandemic and a lot of different restrictions, and people and stores and garden centers and growers are trying to react quickly to try to continue to stay in business and keep their livelihoods alive, and employ people, and also to bring plants and flowers and edible things to people's homes, because I think that's going to be needed more than ever. And I've been following along the struggle. I'm in a Facebook group that's got over 2,500 garden center owners in there, and watching some of the conversations where people are struggling to set up an online store in time. If they're doing curbside pickup and it's only phone calls, there's just not enough phone lines, not enough people, let alone, you get them on the phone and it's like, well, what do you have? So if you don't have a product library with your prices and everything you have available online, it's going to be a real struggle and possibly insurmountable struggle to get things through this spring. And I know in the South, I'm up in the Chicagoland region. We're just getting kind of started. In the South, they're in full swing. So, hopefully we can help them get pretty quick.
Why don't you guys explain to me, like, okay, I'm Garden Center A, and I have a small website. Is this compatible with any type of website? Where are we at there?
So yeah, it's actually built onto its own system. So essentially the way it would work is we are going to set up on a subdomain of anybody's domain, so they don't have to worry about any of that. So it would be essentially shop.gardencentername.com. And what this does is this makes it so that we can now put all these platforms on hosting built for e-commerce. So there's no issues when people start coming in. We're going to make it secure. So when these garden centers take credit card payments over the site, we're not losing that data and people are getting hacked and all this stuff. So we're going to make sure that's all taken care of on our platform. All that the garden center has to do is just update their domain information or allow us to do that for them. It's super easy. And we're not even going to touch their main website at all. And this also helps because a lot of garden centers right now are also working with other marketing companies that, one, are just not being responsive because they're on very small teams right now, or two, they're overwhelmed, which we're seeing as well. So what this does is allow them to still get up and going without having to wait 2 or 3 weeks just for a marketing company that they're working with to give us access to who knows what, and get it going. It's basically turnkey. That's how we wanted to do this. The biggest thing Rich said was, look, this doesn't work unless you can get all these products up as quickly as possible for the garden center, because honestly, we're probably already 3 or 4 weeks behind when we needed to get this up and going.
Yeah.
And at this point, we're just like, how can we do it as smooth as possible and make it as easy as possible for that garden center to get up and going? Yeah, we already got two or three garden centers signed up. I've done a bunch of calls with them. The first one's actually going live, if not today, tomorrow. And that
I was going to ask you about that one. Good.
Yeah, over the course of about 1 weekend. So Friday we sent them our form that they fill in, just telling us about their garden center. Then we sent them our product list, and basically all weekend they're just going through the product list and selecting their prices for all the products, putting in their SKU if they have a unique one that they want to track, and getting that back to us. So it's that easy, really. They were blown away at how simple we're trying to make it. They're like, well, what about this and this? I'm like, well, yeah, all you got to do is fill this form in. They're like, awesome. And that's kind of how we approached it, you know?
So for inventory, obviously that's a whole nother ball game. So, obviously they still need to keep track of that inventory that's available in store. Is that correct?
Yeah. So the way inventory works is we're not integrating to any type of point of sale by any means. This is kind of like your step one e-commerce. Rich's system is kind of like a step 2 or 3 where we actually did integrate his to his point of sale. But that's a little more work, and it took 6 months for us to have that done. So we were like, it's not going to happen just because of the time commitment that we need to get this going, unfortunately.
And the cost.
It was just
the
insane.
integrator. Yeah.
We want to do this quick, and we want to make it affordable. Because if it's expensive, it ruins the whole point. I mean, some of these garden centers don't even know if it's going to work yet. They still have to educate their customers that it's, you can shop online. And it's a lot harder to do when you put a bunch of money up front and then they can't spend it on advertising or something else. And we just wanted to help. So that was the biggest thing.
I would add though, regarding inventory. So say somebody's a grower retailer, they have their crop numbers. If they wanted to, they could plug quantities in. And if they did that and still, obviously you have some crop failure or whatever, not everything's maybe running through that. They could put some numbers on there, but we're just telling people, put it on there. And if you sell out, you know what, that's great. You could try to sell them something else, or worst case scenario, you can refund money. But it's a much worse problem to sell nothing.
Yeah. We did set it so you could bulk edit like products that you have listed and mark them as out of stock. So if you've got 100 products that aren't there anymore, you could just mark them out of stock and it'll hide it from the website with 2 or 3 clicks. So not totally super perfect for that, but it's also, a temporary get the ball rolling introduction to kind of e-commerce for a lot of these people who don't even have anything.
Okay, so is it possible that, once the storm is over and we're sitting in the middle of summer, now they can go back and visit about upgrading. So is it possible that they could look into getting into a POS system for inventory down the road? Would you guys be looking into offering that in the future?
We will be. A lot of it will also come down to that POS and what they offer. So what I've encountered in the multiple different types of e-commerce we've done over different industries was, there's more point of sale companies than there are marketing companies, and that's saying a lot. And they all have their different kind of set of rules of what we're allowed to get and what we can. So what we're going to do is probably start reaching out to those people directly and saying, look, you've got an industry that really needs your help. We can kind of integrate if you can get us this, and see what that's going to look like. We know a couple that we know prices off the top of our head, which are a little crazy. So our job is going to be what can we do to negotiate with these people to help you guys long-term. But ideally we get that would be phenomenal. And I know it would help so many people, especially in the garden center industry when there's just so many SKUs to keep track of.
Yeah. So that's like the 2.0 version later.
Yep.
Yeah. And have you seen all the brands that we have already on there? We have all the proven winners products we can upload instantly. Ball. We've got tons of different trees and shrubs, and the Bonide, Espoma, Dr. Earth, Fox Farm, Jack. All the stuff that, Black Gold, Sun Grows, private label brands, all the stuff that pretty much everybody carries. And like John said, we can add more later.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's fantastic. So I saw that you guys were working, was it Jessica from Proven Winners that you guys worked with to get some of those images up on the website as well? Is that correct?
We worked with Marshall Dirks directly, the marketing director for Proven Winners, and even Tom Smith, the founder, was on the original conversation as well. And he even emailed me, told me what an awesome idea he thought it was and everything else. So that was pretty cool.
It's great.
Yeah.
You guys got the images there instead of scrambling for images. And that was
right.
That's really fast. People want to see what those plants look like. They want to see what the flower color looks like. We know because we're plant people, but they don't.
That has been like the most important part, with just getting those images. Like sometimes, we were able to get data feeds of here's all the products, but there was no image. And we're like, well, it kind of defeats the purpose. Because this is, at the end of the day, it's for the consumer. It's to help a garden center, but it's for the consumer. So it has to have that visual of, this is what this plant is, this is what this is. Because I mean, look, Rich and you guys are all experts, and you could probably tell me exactly whatever the heck a yellow, purple flower petunia something looks like, but your average consumer, which is me, is not going to have any clue. So you got to give them that visual, and getting the images was great. Proven Winners was great with it. Ball helped us out a ton. We're working with a couple. If we can't get images, we're trying to see what we can do. Like, I know we've been trying to do something with like Monrovia, but unfortunately they don't have the rights to share their images with other people. So what we've been looking at is, like Rich said, we can still allow the garden center to upload their own products individually, which is it's still a very manual, labor intensive part. But we're seeing if we can still upload all the data and then allow the garden center to insert images. So maybe we can offload most of the work, and stuff like that. But yeah, we're doing our best. These brands have been really great to work with to get us this information. Because like I said, we're not selling their products. We're not selling their data. We're just selling the service of helping getting everything up. And that's been important to them, because we don't own their data. We don't own their information. They've been just sharing it so we can share it with you guys. And that's been super important for everybody involved, to be honest.
That's
been great.
excellent. And so, okay, so now about getting some stats and analytics off of this. So, I mean, let's say I find out that something that was never really trackable before, other than walking your rows going, oh, we need more red geraniums. Are you able to do that with at all? Like, is there going to be a way to see that, holy smokes, we actually are selling a lot of this product, not just that I'm sold out of it, but this is the one that everybody's hitting on even after we have the sold out on it. Is it possible to do anything like that?
Yeah, we're going to have a full integration with Google Analytics in terms of data feed. So you'll be able to see what products people are clicking on, what are they clicking before and after that, where are those people in the world or your county, where are they actually looking up your stuff. I mean, you'll even be able to know, how old some of these people are on a guess. So it's really cool, eye-opening information on top of your actual sales data. So the site will be able to tell you, this is your number one seller versus this is how many orders are placed and how many average products are in each order online. And all that data will be very easy to access with maybe 1 or 2 clicks once you log into the site. It's all on a dashboard. I know Rich did it. We actually found out, we thought most of the people that visited his website were, probably female in the mid 30s. Turns out his number one site visitors are women 55 plus. And he was like, huh. And we changed up all the marketing and his sales went up. You got to hit the right people. But
Yeah.
the data's there and we want to give it to everybody and walk you guys through how to use it as well.
That is fabulous, guys. I mean, that was pretty quick turnaround to get something like that together in such a short period of time. I think that is one of the biggest things with the IGCs. We ignored Ecomm for the longest time, and we ignored that this is how people want to shop. There's nothing more frustrating than going to a website. And I think, like, I remember telling somebody, had a conversation with them, and they were like, well, how important is a website? And I'm like, well, if you're not virtually online, then you're virtually invisible. And
it's extremely important nowadays, more than ever.
It is. And this is how people want to shop. And especially now, it took a COVID or took something like this to actually kick people in the butt to get moving forward with this and get into the 20th century here. Like, I mean, or 21st century.
Yeah.
They needed this. And it's actually not a bad thing at all. I think it's fabulous. But having people like yourself that saw the need and reacted as quickly as you did, because like you were saying, we're already a few weeks behind. People are right in the middle of their seasons, depending on where you are on the map. And there's just not enough energy there to wrap their brains around a website right now. They're unloading trucks, they're dealing with staff, they're worrying about watering plants, and customers are asking a million questions. This is something that made it just kind of a no-brainer, and I think it was brilliant.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, we did everything we could. We designed it. It's all we need is just the information on a garden center. It's pre-designed, it's pre-set up. So we just set up a credit card payment system, and from there, the business can start accepting payments that day. We wanted to make it easy. The biggest thing, with the e-commerce, and we tell people is, look, there's not enough hours in your week for you to upload even 1,000 products. And we can at least jumpstart you to that point. With garden centers, you guys have so many products, so many different types. I mean, there's no way to even decide.
Not to mention not to mention compiling all the data before you start uploading.
Yep.
It's insane. It's not possible.
So we're trying to make it not scary. That's the point.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of these places don't have people that are web people, or even like they might be able to do a social media post. Okay, but I mean, the truth is they don't have experts that understand how that web world works for them at all. And right now, they're already pulling their hordes from the field to come in and answer phones. So they just don't have time for this. So I mean, that was one of those things. I was chatting with a garden center where they were trying to get all their products in. I'm like going, nobody's shopping for some, obscure tree that you think is important. They're not looking for that. They're looking for fruits and vegetables. They've got a hedgerow they want to fix. It's some simple stuff. So, keep it basic as best as, and then worry about the full enchilada later on. That's not fun right now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Lawn care is big right now for curbside pickup. That's a big category. We're trying to push people on that one, from the get-go. But yeah, you're right. It's edibles. And then flowers, and then after that they can get the other stuff, but this will get them up and running quick. The accessories like your deer and rabbit stopper type stuff and your potting mix has to be on there, because you want these people to fill their cart.
Yeah.
So, and that's what we did, and we've got it all together. But we really just want to help people. That's why this is less than half the price of a normal website. Normally, when John does a website, and we've got over 150 live right now, he charges $1,500 as a setup fee, and then it's $399 a month for 2 years. This is half the setup fee, a quarter of the monthly, and it's a 1-year contract, because we don't want people to feel this is not about gouging. This is about helping people, and we are able to do it. So I think we should do it.
Yeah,
I think it's good. Okay, so your packages are really reasonable at this point right now, and going forward, there's like a bit of a commitment there for, well, I guess basically it's just so that you guys can host that.
So yeah, it's hosting, and we're including kind of like the service and helping out moving forward. So when they do make that call to us, hey, John, Rich, this is what's going on, we're not going to send them an invoice by the hour. We're going to help them get fixed up. So they're not scared to, have something happen. But yeah, it will cover the hosting. It'll cover the SSL certificate, which is for security, backing up the website every day in case they break the website.
Yeah.
It's all included. We don't want people to be scared not to do something because they break it. We'll back it up. We'll bring it back. It's not a problem. Basically, we just want to keep
I've broken my website before.
Yeah.
A few times.
Yeah.
Same.
A couple of times.
Same.
So we want to encourage them to use it and not be scared. And then if they do have questions, we can help them. So it's all part of that. And then we don't have to treat them like a lawyer would. And the second we answer the phone, track their time. So
awesome. Guys, I think you got a brilliant idea. And this is awesome.
Awesome. Hey, I appreciate it today. And, let us know when that's all up, because I think it's an awesome idea what you got going on, and we're all supportive of it. So making positive influence in an industry that could really use it right now. So let's work together.
Awesome. I love it, John. That sounds great. You guys have a great Monday, and I'll get this thing up and I'll tag you when it's up.
All right. See ya.
Thank you, Shelley. Thanks. Have a great day.
You too.
Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.